I finally learned how to turn the camera on and off without looking at the dial to see which way it turns on and off.
All to lose sight, again, the facts here. That for the 9 minutes and 29 seconds, the problem was
Closing arguments in the
no matter what.
Derek Chauvin,
Mr. Floyd was calling out for his life.
George Floyd
He was motionless,
killing.
with an anoxic seizure.
I had it on 15 minutes ago, working up in the loft, and I finally thought, why did I turn this on? I thought it would be over, and I thought maybe the jury would have reached a verdict. Not yet. So
the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen,
the fact of the matter is, I'm going to shut it off for now. This is the bread basket, what the bread box from the woods. And as you've already seen, this was one of my favorite things to do. First thing I would do when I got to the woods every time back in the day of my Sony Handycam. Just hilarious. And I don't think, well, actually, these are highly prized, highly mildewed, but hey, the words still read. This is a cribbage board I made back in I see my, oh, there they are. The little cork is missing, but I can get a new one of those. Made this back in 1978 at my first apartment with my newlywed wife in Duluth. So I thought this would make a nice addition to the top of my fridge here. Another cribbage board. That's a nice one. I didn't make that one. Now this is going to get a complete cleaning. Yeah. And the Woods book. That I wrote. Finally published it back in 2010, 11. That's one of only 4 or 5 copies I had made. It was a vanity press. I wasn't expecting to sell it or get rich. I just wanted some documents for our own family. So this is going to go if I set it there 6 years from now, it'll still be there untouched, right? Well, I wonder how these are doing. They're still musty. I don't know if there are any Well, they aren't any worse. When I get things like this out of my life, cleaned up, finished. They're either 5.5 feet or 5 feet. You've got that now. You remember that. This morning, in the quiet, pre-dawn darkness, I heard a sploosh from Otter Pond. Well, the beaver's still around and active. A lovely sound and an image in my mind of him. What prompted him to slap his tail? That's a warning. Something was interfering with him. Who knows what? There's another book. I was about 150 pages into it. I had to finally say, there's more interesting, fun things to read than this.
All right, Mary Moriarty, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again once we know the verdict, once it has been read in court. Thank you for your insight, taking us inside the courtroom.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is 3:44 on the 20th of April, and we have a verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial. The jury has reached a verdict. I see his head, Judge Peter Cahill, in the courtroom. They're widening the shot, so let's listen in now to Hennepin County Government Court. Is anything happening? Do we have audio? I see defendant Derek Chauvin and his attorney Eric Nelson standing up. That means the jury is likely entering the courtroom. So if we have audio yet, let's listen in on the proceedings as the verdict is set to be read very, very shortly.
I understand you have a verdict. Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court file number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Same caption, verdict Count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 2, third-degree murder perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 20. Same caption, verdict Count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021. Juror number 79, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 85, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Any new grass sprouting? Don't walk through there. No. But I really don't expect any new grass to begin sprouting in this kind of frigid. There's new grass in there. We're going for a walk to the mailbox. Suki's favorite word and sound. Box. That X. Look how full this is. My Goodness gracious. I saw my first toad. All right, where's that hole? There it is. Yeah. And I said, whoa, excellent. And then I woke up in the morning and realized it was a dream. A dream. Going to be up in the 60s at least for central and southern Minnesota. I don't remember what we were going to be at, but we're going to be at a very respectable upper 50s, I think, for one day. And then it dives again. That's why I don't want to go back to the woods. I'll go back in mid-May, but I really don't ever want to go back there when its overnight temperature is going to be anything below 50. That left a hell of an impression on me. I'll never forget that. That was like a pun not intended, but that was one of the worst nightmares I've had, and it was real, not a nightmare or a daydream. Jesus. Oh, I'm ready to throw this camera in Otter Pond. Oh, I spent the last 2 hours. And I'm not a really stupid person. No, really honest, I am not. Once again, I get left off. Somebody online says, go to the register area and well, that's all he says. What is the register area? He's answering a question from somebody who wrote in with a question. He's giving the answer, and both of them apparently know very well what he's talking about. And it stops me cold. Explain what that is. I don't know how to get beyond here. And now I have the camera set for single shot. 3 times in a row I tried to take a single photo. It takes 3 no matter how lightly I touch the shutter release button. 3 pictures. I've got it set for single in every location I know. And poor Suki, I've been trying to get outside with her, and she's standing very patiently looking at me, watching me, and I finally say, F it. I'll figure it out later. But something like this, I gotta figure the answer out. Oh. Well, I came down to hear the frogs. So here we are. We're hearing the frogs. And I know a month from now, a week from now, I will remember this and say, well, duh, it's easy. You just do such and so. Oh, how the hell was I having a problem with that? Well, we all know what it's like to not understand what it is we're trying to do. And others are so blithely saying, well, you just do this. And they're leaving out a whole lot before getting to this. 60 degrees. Why am I not enjoying being out here? Well, let's see if all the fiasco of all the changes I've been making to this operating system camera, if it's focusing on me or now it's refusing to focus on anything or focusing on the moon. I'm having fun. Well, I've got too many options on what I can do, and the problem with that is you finally think, ah, the heck with it all. One of the options I think is going to be to cut come in North Point on Bog. That's the general direction of this new trail name. I was thinking North Point on Avon, but that doesn't make any sense. North Point on Peninsula? Yeah. This oak tree, the one that had all the leaves on it, 2 months ago, they have finally blown off in preparation for new leaves. That's right, I'm working on my no falsetto voice. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Those wildflowers that I photographed yesterday. I want to go and re-photograph them. Unfortunately, it's not overcast like it was yesterday. The evolution of building on little by little by little. I remember all over again how much in love these. And yes, I realize I was zoomed in. Jesus. It'll all become second nature in a year or two. Well, I had a clamp in my pocket, in my hooded sweatshirt pocket, which is notorious for depositing its contents in a secret location. I've got to find it soon, because once these grasses begin growing up, it will be lost forever. I should have thought ahead and spray painted it fluorescent pink. My best chance for it is where I was laying on the trail photographing the wildflowers. So what do? Put it right back in that same pocket.
Peace officer standards and training body to include accountability for officers who violate First Amendment rights.
But I would also like to see state observers at these things, kind of like UN observers, because it's so hard to get details. So I'd like to have it.
DFL control members of the Education Adult Use Cannabis Measure today. Hearing focused on cannabis and prohibiting any marketing aimed safety committee. It is unclear if a full House vote is planned in the Republican-led Senate remains up for 50 to mid. Turning much NPR News.
Turning much colder overnight. Showers
And from Drexel University.
tomorrow.
When Marines are deployed from North Carolina, may have contributed to undercounts in states like North Carolina in 2010, making it harder to get more federal.
Well, I'm not going to remove all of those roots. Fiddlehead fern, imported from the woods. Years of fiddleheads, glorious, tall, 3.5 feet tall fiddleheads.
Election data services projects that Florida and Texas, both of them warns that last year's head count was like no other U.S. census, making it even harder to predict how the numbers will actually shake out.
You have not had in previous decades the impact of COVID. You have not had an administration, the Trump administration, that was so hostile to the census.
of officials cutting sharply
Well, I
undercounting
probably
immigrants and people
broke
of color
that.
in the same states with boosted numbers from
No, I
deployed
didn't.
troops. Lindsay Lewall, responsibility of the department is tackling this problem.
Why did I carry those shovels full away?
You're just in a constant race to keep up, and HHS estimates the cost is $775, what we call license.
I picked a wood tick off the back of my neck. I think he was just beginning his incision. Felt a tiny little itch, reached back there, and oh yeah. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. See you next time.